I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you follow your heart without moral restraint, you're going to wind up addicted, depressed, and ultimately dead.
So I came up here with one question in mind, but I'm going to ask another one. So you have all this great evidence, and it has compelled me that I think I have to make the argument for mysticism here. C.S. Lewis has a wonderful piece called On Obstinacy in Belief, in which he explains the rationale behind people who maintain their faith in the, even in the face of great contrary evidence, which I don't believe there is. But, you know, Jesus tells us that in the end times, there will be deceptions that, if it were possible, could deceive the very elect, right? And so if your faith is based upon merely human reasons, well, couldn't someone reason you out of it?
If your faith is based on reason, couldn't somebody reason you out of it?
Right. Don't you need some
Well, I think it's probably, I mean, it's possible, quite obviously, but I think it's much more possible that if your faith is based on your emotion can change much more quickly than the facts can. The facts can't change. Our perception of the facts can change. But one of the problems I think we have currently is that we believe based on emotion, and emotion can lead us astray. In fact, I think the most important verse in the Bible, other than the gospel itself today, is actually from Proverbs. It's Proverbs 4:23. It says, "Above all else, guard your heart, because everything you do flows from it." Our culture doesn't say guard your heart. Our culture says follow your heart.
Right.
I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you follow your heart without moral restraint, you're going to wind up addicted, depressed, and ultimately dead. I know I would. You've got to restrain yourself from your heart's desires, especially when they cross moral lines. If you don't, there's going to be trouble. This is why C.S. Lewis famously said that for any kind of success in this world, quite a lot of restraint is going to be necessary. And so I would argue that I think we do have a witness of the Holy Spirit, if that is somehow you want to qualify or you want to describe as mysticism, that witness of the Holy Spirit can give us assurance. However, I think if that's all you have, and then things really get difficult and you start questioning whether or not it's real, I think the evidence is something that you can rely on as a foundation for who you're putting your faith in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just interesting. We see two kind of trends in Christianity. You have one that says lean not upon your own understanding, and then another that wants you to evaluate the evidence more. So,
well, that would lean not on your own understanding is congruent with the verse about don't follow your heart, to guard your heart, because your heart is deceitful and wicked, said Jeremiah. In other words, it'll lead you astray. I know if I followed my heart every day, again, I'd already be dead. Okay, there's so many things I want to do on a whim, something I see, that I need to restrain myself. And if I don't, I'm not going to last very long.